June 4th, June 4th, June 4th. I wanted to welcome everyone back into this space. This is going to be, well, you know who you are as you enter the room per the title of the video, but I have yet to pick the zodiac sign for this reading. I wanted to welcome you all into this beautiful space. I wanted to welcome you all into this day. I am truly going through a nervous system sort of reset experience where like we took some crazy, beautiful, decisive action to really like ignite a flame that like incinerated a previous consciousness. So like I feel like a newborn baby. I feel like I just proper came out of like a very like slick I don't know, I just feel very like a larva in the shit because we really just shed a total skin and it landed so well and was so positively received and was kind of exactly what people needed, exactly the inspiration people needed. So maybe per this sign, that's exactly the message at this time. But thank you again for coming in. I'm going to go ahead and take some water. Let's make sure we're doing the water thing. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, we went crazy today. What? Grateful. Okay. All right, so what we're going to do, the whole point of this reading is to kind of give you a 4-week breakdown and overview of your zodiac archetypal specific message. So just because this month is all about prophecy, I want to give people more tangible tools to be able to engage with prophecy in a way that would help them further understand why we should commit to this path of consciousness. So I'll give you a crystal resonance tarot deck read for the overview of the month. Oh shit, I haven't even split the deck into major and minor. Okay, we'll do that after I pick a card, a sign. But anywho, and then we'll just go ahead and clarify with the major and minor arcana for the 4 weeks as well. So I appreciate you guys. Just let me go ahead and do this because I want to make sure we get you guys set up proper. Sorry for just beginning the read. Like that's how I feel. I feel like it's like just like starting this shit off for real because it's that important. It's that massive, the experience that we have just created. And I just think that that's the most beautiful part of June is that so much of it is about what you just choose to give to yourself, to create for yourself, you know, and to know that at this time we have done that and we are now experiencing benefits from that. You know, it has affected other people's lives positively, you know. It's just a deep sense of like renewal and why we keep going, you know, when it seems like the road is huhiri or treacherous. Okay, I think I've done my best job that I could possibly do separating the deck. Without further ado, who is the sign? I think it's just funny because you're like, we know the sign, and I'm like, I don't know the sign. So here's the sign. Let's see. Oh my God, you like jumped out of the bowl. Jumped out of the fucking bowl. Who are we doing next? It's all really connected at this point for this sign. Gemini, of course. Gemini. That's exactly why I can channel in this way for you guys because Gemini gets my frequency. Okay, Gemini, let's go ahead and jump right into it. 333. That's how long the intro was for you, Gemini. Beautiful. The June Gemini energy. Oh my God. Was I not just going on a fucking rant for you, Gemini, about the things we've chosen to create in our lives, what we willed into being? I think, Gemini, your whole month of June, like your whole season is like, do it, dude. Make it happen, dude. Be like, there is no time like the present for you, Gemini, to enact the perspective you want, the respect you want, the recognition, the love that you want, like all of those things that you want. You have the ability to create those because you are at one with your higher self. I think it's really funny that I am too at this moment very much connected to my higher self. Like I'm very much connected to who I really am, and I think it's because I chose for it to be that way. It was not that way at a point in my life, and now it is. You know, it's funny that I thought to wear my like class of 2019 collegiate shirt. If you let me just turn it around so you can see. Yeah, get a load of it. Yeah. Oh, I probably fucked that up. It doesn't even matter. My name is at the bottom of the shirt, but it is on the shirt because I'm class of 2019 Seattle U. Where my Red Hawks at? Yeah, y'all know what it was. Anyways, so Gemini, that's how I feel. I feel like, you know, anytime even just like a student gets to the graduation point, right? It's because of their will to get to that point, to be able to like enact that dream. And I feel like, you know, you had a goal of, being the higher version of yourself, connecting with that for more in life, to get the outcomes that you really want. And I feel like that is open for you with all this expansion energy. It's like you can really create that which you need, and you have this direct pipeline, it seems like, from your higher self throughout the month to really support you with that. So let me go back and get the date skis of when this June is. Okay, so June 1st, the first week of June, we've got the 1st through the 8th. Let's look at the Gemini reading. We're already the 4th day through. Oh my shit, ski. We're already the 4th day through. This is so interesting, right? This is so interesting. Oh my God, this is so crazy. Oh my God, Gemini, this is so real. Okay, so the first card that we got out for you the first week of June, we're 4 days in, right? The 1st through the 8th is the star in reverse. Do you know exactly what I got? It's like you are the star. But when you get to the star archetype, you have to realize the whole point of being the star is that nobody permitted you to be who you are. So when it comes to how you want your 10th house reputation to be out in the world, Gemini, it is so important for you to understand right now that the first week you're probably being presented with, okay, it feels like the looming answer is that I must be the star, but it's like a possibility. It's like an outcome that could happen, but it feels like not activated. Well, the activation is for you, right? And the only way that you're going to be able to activate this star in reverse is depending on your shadow integration. Do you get what I'm saying? Because I'm feeling at this time, Gemini, it's your season. You're going to be getting blessings out the asshole, like birthdays, solar returns, things like that. These types of anniversaries are always like really blessed and consecrated. There's always like just beautiful waves that the divine will give us to just kind of recharge our energy throughout the year. And birthdays are no exemption. So people who are like, fuck off with the birthdays, I'm like, come on, dude, you get blessings on your birthday. Don't play indiscriminately, So you will be blessed for sure during Gemini season, Gemini, just because it's that time of the year where you're supposed to be fucking blessed. Because when else are we going to be fucking blessed if not when we fucking popped in this motherfucking... Anyways, so, but the thing is with the star in reverse, like I said, it's like, if Gemini, I want to give a PSA, like if this first week you don't embody that star energy, it's like, it's yours to take if you want it. Because like, I kind of want to say that it's like, if you don't take this opportunity, if you don't assume your star. And like I said, and I feel like for Geminis that are in the highest vibe, I feel like you knew this. You knew by Gemini season you wanted to be locked in. You wanted to be fucking proper in this initiation, because I think you knew this is what could happen. Is that it was meant for you to be in the spotlight. It was meant for you to be your best self by now. It was possible. At least that's what I feel like Spirit wants me to tell you, Gemini. It was possible for you to be your best self by this point. So, that's what I feel like. It's like, Gemini is realizing, like, I really guess I can do anything because I've been on both poles. I've been one or the other. I've lived out both aspects. But I think at the end of the day, when I integrate my shadow, the most important part of it is like, what am I going to choose? Am I going to choose what is authentically true to me? Or am I always going to just fall victim to outsourcing my shadow and not assuming that I'm meant to be the star of my own life, It's very important, to think about that, Gemini, because this first week, I think the other message that I'm getting, because like from the timeline I'm in, is it's like, if you're the star, then it's something that needs to be activated. So it's like, it could also very much be like this week, like the people around you, Gemini, may not know you're about to pop out. Like, they may not know that this first week, like you may be an unlikely candidate to them, but like not unlikely candidate. It's just like, you may not be what they had at the front of their mind, but it's like, you light up the dark because you. That's what I'm saying. I feel like maybe people thought there wouldn't be a star, or there's just no hope. And then there's just like hope, right? It's like the hope that's right in front of you that you did not, people are now having to go integrate their shadow because they're like, what the fuck was I doing? Like, how did I not know about what in the fucky? Yeah, that's how it is with you, Gemini. You know what I mean? Like, people are kind of looking at you this first week like, you've probably given this perspective to someone where it's just like, what was I looking at? And so just know that, like, it all has to align with our will, because it's like, this is basically Spirit being like, we cleared the space for you to be the star, but you need to create the star, like, do it. So there's such an activation this first week for Gemini that is so foundational. Excuse me. I just like literally hit myself on the chair. That's why it's just like, whatever. Then it's like, your shadow is in this, bruv. It's so cute. He's handsome. Gemini. First week of the fucking month. Here's what's happening. 7 of Swords is clarifying the star reverse. There is gossip being that these third parties spread about you that said you weren't the star, and there is a big expose that there were lies told about the star. based on what you have, how you have shown up consistently, this is stuff that I don't even think concerns you, Gemini, to be honest with you. It's like shit that like, it's just like, you are the truth 1010. And when this cycle completes, it's like the association, the word on the street was there were lies in the street. You know what I mean? This first week. So it's up to you, because I think that's how reputation goes, right? Are you going to, people are always going to run their fucking mouth about you. You know what I mean? But your character is up to you. So whether you align with the assumptions about you or not is on you. It can be that someone's saying some heinous shit about you. Like, what? How dare you, bitch? But at the end of the day, if you really show up with some ain't shit character in real life that aligns with the fucking gossip, you know what I mean? So for the Geminis that choose higher, you make these bitches look like sorry losers. Oh, you were running your mouth. Oh, you were the one who was just projecting power. Your power dynamics on me. Yeah. You were abusing that. Yeah. And I had to come in this first week and remind you, bitch, I know you obviously don't see it, but it has nothing to do with whether you can take away the fact that I'm the star or not. You may not want to look at it, but bitch, get 1111, like, you better get a fucking clue. You know what I mean? So Gemini, if you're not in that awareness, if you can see outside of yourself that could have been possible for you, that timeline, but you were not there, let this be the motivation for you to really ingrain this lesson so that you can move forward and that you can hit these anniversaries again in your life where you can really be proud of how much you did. Like, again, like if you've been going year after year after year, not like really giving to yourself, Gemini, or really activating like a higher version of yourself, like, applying yourself, you can't just actually become a complete victim to your circumstance. You know what I mean? And I do this fucking archive bitch, Tethered Studios is founded by a fucking Gemini rising. Nobody can put some fucking disrespect on our fucking name, Teamski. So I am really showing up in that high vibrational Gemini energy that's like, I can be the star because I do grounded work that has to do with myself, that is authentic to the real truth that I'm here to embody on this goddamn planet in terms of ascending the collective consciousness, like being a part of something, like trying to do something for real. And so because I'm taking that sort of opportunity to be activating my own star energy, I can't make excuses when it's like, I'm supposed to be a star, but nobody sees. Well, you got to act like it too. Like, you know what I mean? Like a star isn't just like you know what I mean? So it's all about that sort of sustainable will. Like what's going to be sustainable for you to be trying to power into the future, Gemini? Because first week, this is for me, it's like, it's tea. Like this is the week where bitches have to gather around and eat their fucking words. Like, oh shit. Cause yeah, I told you bitches, I was like, okay, like y'all can sit up here and still say I'm not shit. That's fine. But what happens when this destiny cracks the fuck open? What happens when this June bussy busts right on the fucking table? Then what? Yeah, it'll be fucking crickets. It'll be cricket skis. Yeah. So second week, June 9th through the 15th. As I was going to say, Jupiter goes into Cancer, I believe is what I was going to say. The Chariot, Strength, and the Hangman. Yeah. Huge. Yeah. So the second week, it's like your God strength meets up with the portal to your new beginning that you wanted to manifest. Opening and being available to you and having the resources, like actually having the car to get there and go type of thing, Gemini, like really being able to get to where you like get in the vehicle to where you want to be headed. And it's the change of perspective you've been praying for. Like the whole purpose of this week 2 of June for Gemini is to like show you that again, and this could be for the low vibration or the high vibration, God strength. Have you been acquiring some sort of God strength? Honor wherever you have, at least, Gemini, so you don't treat yourself like shit, just because maybe even if you're slacking on something. Like truly understand, Gemini, like if you're the fucking highest vibing Gemini, this message resonates with you even more so because you overstood this. This is why you went forward and you were like, I've got to make a change. Because they're always going to fucking try to make me feel like a victim about my shit. And I need to be the victor of my story. I need to be someone who can overcome these things that are trying to limit my own perception of myself, which is just like the things that I attach to that I can release that aren't what I am. And I need to allow a bigger, more expanded version of who I am to come through. And if you understood that deeply, you would be really activating, because you realize like the best thing for a Gemini is to like activate that they have the right to be like the best. They're like knowledgeable air, you know what I mean? And I just feel like it's really beautiful because, you know, it's like it's going to be a mirror of the change. Like you had like going through this initiation to like get really strong in your heart space, Gemini, really showed you a different side of life that I think you deeply needed. But now the reward of the second week is also just giving you yet another example of a mirrored change of perspective for you, you know? Because you endured that, you know? Because you know what? We're giving this to you because it's not even like, oh my God. Yeah. It's like the Queen of Pentacles, like the most, it's like when the dream is ready to come down and you're already like fixated on your own value. That's where you can be week 2. Starting the 9th. You are like, it's basically when you've opened all, like starting the second week, you've opened all your Christmas presents under the tree, straight up. Like, don't even have to overattach to that. But like the action of like, if you had a set amount of presents in fucking front of you and it was like, all right, you don't know what they are at a certain point, and then you like open them one by one, and then you know what every single one of those presents are. Starting week 2, this is what you get to do. This is where you go once you receive this fucking, I believe like, week 1 is going to like hammer you, overload you with like spontaneous gift that's going to be like, oh shit. Like it's just so much love received back. That's like, it's like as if you got like fucking tons of fucking presents. It's like, what the fucky? Like all these presents. Like, and I feel like week 2, you're like like you're just sitting in front of all the shit. You just end up like brain open. And then it's like, all right, now it's time to like enact your new journey that you've been wanting to do, that you've created. Like that, it's just like, what? I just don't think that like for me, like for example, like one thing that I hope for is that like when it's time to, this would be like a great example of is like, you know, God had these delays were really just about giving me so much back and giving me such a full experience of life at this time, because we know what the destiny is, but then it's just about like giving me the most out and based on like what I'm choosing. And, you know, so having that, it's like, say this first week, I'm just really receiving a lot of like wonderful divine gifts from the universe. And then come next week, it's like, I have all these things that kind of put me in a new reality, right? But then it's like, oh, now you can drive off and like really get started on production for the rest of the tour. And it's like the type of thing where it's like, oh my goodness, like that is so unbelievable, to be honest. Like it is really like shocking that I am in this position before I even have to before we even head out. I think that's what God wanted you to be set up this way with all of this, Gemini, before you started this new chapter. There was so much that the universe wanted to give to you. So again, this is a wonderful lesson. If you haven't been activating your star, if there's like things, you know, you could have activated in yourself, growth that you could have enacted, you know, so that you're not always just stealing from yourself. Like if you could in the first week feeling like I just did not take the opportunity I should have taken to be more like main character in a way that felt comfortable and like I was proud of myself, you know, because people might be like paying attention to me because it's my season and whatever, but like I also want to have something worthy of being like seen over. And you know, this is where it was like they passed you the mic that you've been begging for, and it's like, what if you didn't have anything proper to say, you know? Or like, you know, you had your big break and you blew it looking, you know, complaining about something, when really like those are the moments, you know, Gemini. These are our moments, Gemini, that we get to have. And so I can tell you, like, as a proper Gemini right now, dude, I've been fucking hitting these 3 free throws like a motherfucker, you know. I've been fucking slam dunking on these hoes, like, you know. I've been crossing ankles in these streets, like I've really been crossing my T's and dotting my I's in terms of my Gemini energy, in terms of being accountable. I've been really balancing it out with my Virgo North Node. Like I was like a lot of, you know, and then like my bullheadedness with my Taurus Moon. It's like, I need to fucking, you know, I woke up this morning and really just like chose the star, like chose to be like, this week's about to be about blessings, because it is kind of up in the air. It's up to you. It's whether you steal from yourself or not, that the first week felt like you were a star, you know, because the second week it's like, you know, if you don't activate that, like it's time for you to go to the next journey that you know you need to go on. But it could have given you, you know, aspects of life that I think that you deserve to have if you want them, you know. The third week, which is the 16th to the 22nd, Magician in reverse and the Judgment. And this to me has everything to do with manipulation. You know what I mean? Right? Everything. I think there's like, wow. Yeah. I think there's like hella, I mean, it's like there's just going to be hella advancement for those who don't have a lot of offensive. Like I feel like by the third week, Gemini, like I was talking about Mercury, but like if Mercury is in the reverse, you get what I'm saying? Like I just feel like this is kind of like that sort of retrograding energy where it's like, you know, you can't go forward because you're too burdened. It would be too heavy. So again, you just need to be prepared for, you know, times when maybe we need to be, you know, not, it's like if the divine guidance is like, you don't have to create this, like this is destiny. Cause I feel like that's the thing. It's like, I think when this magic of energy comes on, Gemini like really wants to always be doing something. And I feel like it's a lot more of a receptive way of creating a moment, you know, with spirit. Like this kind of reminds me like third week, you're going to get to see what spirit co-created for you, you know, because if the magician has like a magic show assistant, this is where it's like, okay, can you hand me this? Or can you help me with this part now? Now I'll have my assistant like saw the body and whatever. The person who's like, it's like you are being asked to know when, you know, the other aspect of the co-creation is like stepping forward. And so by the third week, because I did talk a lot about how there will be a lot more global changes, you know, this month too, around the third week that really involve, you know, moving forward, you know, like it's time for certain things to really like, we can leave these spaces. And if you're still lingering in these spaces, like you're getting moved from these spaces because it's just like time for things to have a, you know, more of a forward momentum. But it really is sort of like the universe wants to give you something that you would have wanted to create the third week, but without you having to like do the burden of it. Like this is like a bride who's like having a wedding thrown for her. Surprise, you know, or something like that. And so if Gemini is doing the thing where they aren't activating their star in the first week, and then therefore like there's opportunities that are ready for them, but they don't feel anything for because they're like, there's not an emotional availability there. Then the third week, it's like you could be manipulating something that was supposed to just come to you easily. And it's like, it doesn't seem like it's going to stop really, but it's just like, it's going to make a big difference. Like whether you know, this is the bride that's like, you don't want to have to like give too many hints about what you want to kind of be surprised if you were like having someone propose to you, you know, you don't want to like have manipulated and like planned out the whole thing. And then it doesn't, you know, you ruin the surprise or something. Like it's like that frequency. So on the contrary, it's like, if you're really good at knowing how to be like, know when it's time to like, not to like let the magic unfold type of thing and not keep like manipulating the frequency, like let it like, you know, like third week is like, again, I'm getting like good R&R vibes. Like Gemini is like going to have like a long extended vacation of just like rejuvenation and like healing, you know, because I feel like when you get put in a victimized experience for too long, whether it's yourself putting yourself through it or like you feel like it's something in the world that's victimizing you, it's like, you know, you need really what you need is like the resources and the needs met. So you need like R&R. So those are good times where it's like, you know, you can really just take the time that you need, the 16th through the 22nd, you know, to kind of address and begin like, you know, like it's like kind of like taking a day off, you know what I mean, type of shit. And then the fourth week for Gemini is the 23rd through the 30th. The wheel turns, right? The fourth week. Right? And it, shadow integration, you know what I mean? If you are in a hermit mode, the wheel's going to turn. It's time for you to come. It's like the conscious light of it all. But I really feel like a lot of this has to do with your shadow this month, Gemini. And I think the best way to get the most out of a Gemini season is to like have both twins active, you know what I mean? To celebrate both twins. And, you know, from what I see, I think, you know, your personal self-hate would be the biggest thing that could set you back in life in general, but like specifically in a month like this where there's so much prophecy, where it's like, you know, now it's all showing up in my face and it's actually just me left alone with all my wounds about how I can't love myself properly, you know? There's always going to be someone to blame, Gemini, until it comes down to like you, but you can't let that be you. Like if you were abused by someone or if you didn't have parents who gave you sufficient or adequate love, like you can't let that actually define how you want to feel about you. That's what Aquarius says. Like, Aquarius is like, okay, and just because these bitches fucking hate me, like, at the end of the day, if like life runs on the amount of love you really have, like how the experience feels, and whether you're going to be able to like recharge through it, then like, am I really going to be someone who wants to, actually just be harboring like negative feelings about myself? Because I feel like this is just one of those months where it shows, like, I could really see in the cards where it's just like, there's a big call, like where you kind of need like God's intervention to help you like develop more strength, because you have to be accountable for yourself, Gemini. Like, I feel like that's the biggest thing, because this month is all about how, like, if Gemini is truly honorable and in their integrity and like became accountable, like activated and has like evidence of that activation, I'm talking like you do the impossible with like nothing. Like you're not even able to be in your magician era, but you're still making magic happen. The wheel turns for you. You're the unlikely star that was like dormant, like could have been a star, but like would definitely have to use some like refinement. And like Gemini, you could have been all of those things. And, I'm really reading for the higher timeline. It's like, for me, it's like, yeah, that's how I fucking feel right now. I'm like, dude, I'm Alexis. This, and really like the exact same like frequency. Like, it's kind of people gonna probably like freak people out. I was like, she's exactly the fucking same. You know what I mean? But the frequency really would be that like I definitely chose to refine the energy, and now it's like all the deception slides off of you like butter. You know what I mean? In real time. The Wheel of Fortune. Right. Because the wheel is going to turn, and where you go, up or down, is based on how much was growing, And this is the personal Garden of Eden, right? Like the Seven of Pentacles is like your personal value that you've been building up. You know what I mean? And again, the fourth week, it's like, do you feel like, yes, like restoration, fourth week, like I'm like, all limitations have been broken. Like I can be the same value, like top of the wheel, bottom of the wheel, like I broke it through? Or do you really feel like, the size of this cup, the size of this love is only going to be based on like how little you and how infrequently you give to yourself, Because I just think this is one of those times for Gemini where it's like, it's not other people right now. That is like one thing I can definitely say in this situation, And so it's going to be best if Gemini in June is just like, it's not other people. It's just about my self-love. It doesn't have to be about them anymore, Because I feel like, again, Gemini, you don't want to be hardened in your heart you don't want to not have your shadow integrated to be able to receive this, Your shadow's going to keep it fucking real with you about who you really want this cup from. But I feel like, if your shadow is unintegrated, you totally could look like you could get the like jackass vibe, because it's just like, dude, like, sometimes we can get so, when we aren't moving forward, right? If we aren't being accounted for our energy and we're not doing whatever, it's like when this comes, you don't utilize that, So you would have needed to integrate that, right? Like I said, Gemini, I'm a great example. Like I really integrate. Like I take every opportunity. Really, I truly do. Like anytime I can like take somebody's good faith and like I try to keep my shadow integrated so I can still take advantage of that. Like this is about knowing you're still worthy of stuff, even if like shit's going on. You know what I mean? Because I think you can't be the only one who doesn't love you unconditionally. There are people out there who love you unconditionally. It may not be everyone, but there are. But the problem right now, it looks like, Gemini, is like if you don't love yourself unconditionally, you no longer can look at other people and be like, your cup's not enough for me. Well, you're not enough for you, Gemini. That's the biggest thing. Their cup will only, that's what I'm going to call this. Because their cup will only be enough, Gemini, if you are enough for yourself. It's all about you, and I think you're really learning that right now, Gemini. The shadow has been trying to tell you, like, it doesn't matter what the fuck's coming outside of you, what you want to happen or it doesn't even matter, dude. The most important thing is it's going to feel like what you feel like to you. So the thing to always work on when you can't control the external environment, 2929, yourself. Yeah? Work on yourself. So that way you can know what this kind of love is going to feel like. you know? And either way, this is all about bringing you back into the feeling of what it feels like to be alive. Like, it feels like to be you, you know? Not to just be in your polarities, but to be the whole thing, like driving the whole car, you know what I mean? So, you know, it's so monumental, and I feel like that's what your shadow would have, like, wanted you to see this whole time, if you weren't, like, running from it, or just, like, petrified of it. Because your shadow was just like, you're a star, you're in this story because you are special, you know? And the things you want to move forward are actually coming for you, and we just want you to be ready for that. And it was just supposed to be something that you didn't have to, like, create yourself. Like, this is about reparations. This is about stuff that's owed to you. This is about things being, like, rectified, you know? You were once at the bottom of the wheel. We want you to be at the top now. Because there were aspects, Gemini, where you were always maintaining yourself that, like, you didn't have to be maintaining. So when it comes to reaping the harvest of that, it's yours to reap. Beautiful shit, Gemini. So this is a fucking real ass message, bro. I've, like, had to just straight channel it. But yeah, Gemini, if you didn't know, like, we love when you're the star. We love when you activate that. We do. Be the star, Gemini. Because you can be. That's what I would advise. Right? Use of will. Meditate on that all June. And fucking finish this birthday out proper, bro. Do something fucking good for yourself, good for your health, good for your well-being, good for your spiritual well-being this June 2025, Gemini. Fucking holler back at me. You know what I mean? I love you so. And yeah, that's what we're all working on, you know? It's not that we don't know what's supposed to come to us, but we got to make sure we feel good about ourselves. And I think we understand that everybody's just trying to get that before we get going, you know? So hopefully you leave this month feeling so much more like grace and ease for yourself and for those around you. But you fucking rock, Geminis. It's a huge deal. Big cup coming soon.